Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Brajana Ranjana, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Brajana Ranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Brajana Ranjana, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Brajana Ranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Hare Krishna. Jai His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Tirobhav Tithi Mahotsav ki Jai. Shananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Chanda Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, Hare Krishna to everyone. Today, in our Hare Krishna weekend program, we are going to have a special program. It will be only one program today. It will be a longish program, combining two programs. So 101, 101st Vyasapuja, transcendental Vyasapuja or appearance day of His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. So for some of you, many of you who are new and who are under training, for you this is a big opportunity and good opportunity to see how to glorify a pure devotee. Normally we wish happy birthday to you for people when they are appearing, but that's not the way we do for a Vaishnava, an exalted Vaishnava. We glorify and meditate upon the qualities of that pure devotee, a pure Vaishnava. So we will watch today now. The program structure will be like this. We'll be watching a class given by Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Gurudev. And then after the class is over, it's about 45 minutes to an hour's class. And then we'll have our offerings of all the devotees from the Hare Krishna weekend programs and others who have joined us who would like to give their offering as well. So we'll read from the offerings that we have offered. We'll keep about 3 minutes or so for each of the offerings. All right? Hare Krishna. So just give me a minute as I set up the video for Maharaj. Just 1 second, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, right.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama.
This Samsparshaja, here is a nice word. Sparsh means touch. And we always have the different types of touches. I want to eat nice vegetable food, prasad or something. Rasgullas please me. There's a nice touch in there. I'm sitting on a cushy seat, very, very comfortable. This sparsha sukha, the touch, this gives you a bit of happiness. He says, dukkha yonava evate. Everything with this type of happiness we regard has its concomitant misery. We are coming from the times when we were all joint family, 25 people staying in one house. Nice building was there, but not a single chair was there. Everybody was sitting like that. Those came also sit. And it was very, very nice talking, and we felt that we are all one. So this room also, if you put the sofa sets, hardly 3-4 people can sit. And we sit wine glasses or something. No, not really. Please, please. If we can, from our houses, we should reduce the foam. It's too much foam in this age. This side, this side, every side. He wants to stretch his leg, and then he has arthritis and all the diseases because we have lost this touch with the simplicity. So many diseases occurring. Simplicity will relieve us. Try to have less touch. And we cannot avoid it. Really, tongue is there, so we have to eat something in order to survive. So we cannot stop eating. So at the same time, he said the touching sensation is the source of misery. Dukkha yonavete. How to match this? Can anyone tell?
He only things after Krishna.
Oh, Krishna, nice.
You call God by that.
When I drive with Ola, I keep more in my pocket.
So when Kiwis ride with Ola, they ride the change.
Did you know?
That's easy. I want to eat nice vegetable food. Prasad or something. Rasgullas please me. There's a nice touch in there. I'm sitting on a cushy seat, very, very comfortable. This sparsha sukh, they touch, it gives a bit of happiness. He says, dukkha yanava evade. Or everything with this type of happiness we regard is this concomitant misery. We are coming from the times when we were all joint family, 25 people staying in one house. Nice building was there, but not a single chair was there. Everybody was sitting like this. People came also sitting. And it was very, very nice talking, and we felt that we are all one. So this room also, we put the sofa sets. Hardly 3-4 people can sit. And we sit behind glasses or something. No, please. If we can, from our houses, we should reduce the phone. It's too much phone in this age. This side, this side, every side. He wants to stretch his leg, then he has arthritis and all the diseases because we have lost the touch with the simplicity. So many diseases occurring. Simplicity will remove us. Try to have less touch. And we cannot avoid it. Really, tongue is there, so we have to eat something in order to survive. So we cannot stop eating. So at the same time, he says the touching sensation is a source of wisdom. How to match this? Can anyone tell?
Eat only things offered to Krishna.
Offered to Krishna, that's austerity. Anything else? And so it is dukkha, That is the instruction. So how to? And we cannot survive without it. That is definite. So are the scriptures contradictory?
And same time that everything which comes to the contact of the senses comes to the package state of attached pain.
Misery, yes.
So we need to get above the pain of we need to strive for neither pain nor pleasure.
But my point is that if touching sensation is source of misery, then does it mean that we should stop eating? If prasad, that is one way. What else?
To engage all these things in Krishna service so that we think of Krishna when we're doing activities that give us the sense of pleasure. Not to do it for the sense of pleasure, but
Yeah, we to do it once in a while.
thinking about
Yeah, that's right. That's Srinath. Again, the scripture is very clear that in order to obtain the Lord's mercy, and that we are all trying, we are really all hungry for Lord's mercy. Prasadam adhigachati. Unless there is prasad, Lord's mercy, we will never be able to carry on. Every second of our existence is helping us. to breathe in and breathe out, which is very important for our survival, is also his mercy. The day he wants to stop our breath, nobody can give a single breath. So everything depends on his mercy. But he has created our body, everything is created by him. Aham sarvasya prabhu, mattava sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. And the wise who know this, they become devoted to me. So I hope that by this time we are wise. And we recognize him as the source of everything. So he is the source of everything. And that's why our whole attention is attracted to him. And he has given us Atma Share Vidyatma. We are completely controlled in our habits. And Vidyatma, we are only working in the limits of the regulated freedom. Regulating Prasad also, he has given us a freedom. That we should not touch anything which cannot be offered to him. That goes without saying. And then again, there is a limit to it. So this is Vidyatma. It's regulated freedom. This is the gift of Krishna to living entities. But he knows how to behave here, how we behave, and how we can be happy. We buy cameras, or we have got this sound system, and only the company provides the booklet. So that if you go through the booklet and you operate these things according to the instructions of the company, then it will give you the good results. So our bodies are also manufactured by him, and the planet is also manufactured by him. So he also gives the booklet. And he has given us booklet in the form of Bible or Bhagavad Gita or whatever. So if you organize your life according to the tenets of his booklet, then this body will give good results. Otherwise it will be diseased. You will be at ease to follow the instructions of the booklet. I am following the booklet instructions. That's why I am operating this very accurately. As soon as I ignore the instruction, then the trouble starts. I may break it. And the results will not be there. The same thing happens when we ignore the spiritual instructions. And we are regarding eating. There's only one thing of the sense gratification. He has given us regulated freedom. And he says, please, don't touch the sinful things. Don't commit sin and fill up your belly. Committing sin of killing innocent animals and producing cows are completely prohibited in his instructions. And if you are not discriminating about this, then the concomitant misery will be there. The animal which you are putting into your stomach is also deceased. Because he is the material body. So material body is always deceased. So though deceased unknowingly, we are eating. Why can't you come to our senses regarding this? This is a regulated freedom. If you don't follow this, then you are going to have the misery. And then there is food poisoning and so many things, cholesterol and this and that and that and that. I don't mean that vegetarians don't suffer, but the ratio of suffering is more in the meat eaters than the vegetarians. And then our teeth are not suitable for chewing meat. We cannot kill our prey. If I want to eat the cow, I cannot kill the cow with my teeth. We have to use the choppers. So that shows that that food is not suitable for our intestines. Our teeth set are only to chew the vegetables. And they are not suitable for the consumption of meat. So that is a regulated freedom. Then you should not eat plus meat, fish and eggs. There is a first regulation. This is a regulated freedom we have for enjoyment of the food. And definitely, as I told you, that we cannot avoid consuming food. Can you? How long? A day or two, maybe. But we have to have something. You can't manage with it for a long time. We must have. But there is a regulated freedom. So sanity is to try to obey the laws of the nature. I mean to say laws of God. To have a healthy life. That goes without saying. We were in Ethiopia and there was a king, Ethiopian king. And in Ethiopia, they follow the Orthodox Christianity. Very nice way. So that king was vegetarian that time. And he survived nearly 102 years. And even then, after 102 years of age, he was murdered. Otherwise, normally he might have survived a bit more. So survival, no survival. But he was satisfied that he has followed the laws of the God. And we had read in Christianity also in England, there is a very nice presentation from I don't know which society it is, but they have translated the Bible from the Arabic language from Tibet. And that old copy was preserved in Tibetan monastery. And from there they had translated. And the whole thing was like vegetarianism was the main thing, main instruction there. So when we start tempering our scriptures, then the misguidance is bound to be there. Otherwise, the instruction, the essence of all the faiths is same. The animal, which is also having life, eating, sleeping and mating and defending, everything is an animal. Animal eats, animal sleeps, animal defends, animal mates, everything is there. So how can we deny the soul in the animal? So who gives the right to kill that poor dumb animal? That's also a game. And if you do that, then the reaction is there. So many people died in famine or crash or earthquakes or drought or whatever. So many things are going on. Wars. Now recently the whole population was wiped off in 1 month. How many people died? Why it is so? It's nobody's fault. But the Krishna has his own arrangement to wipe out the sinful activities. This is how. Please, this regulated freedom must be followed. And if sanity prevails, then there will be happiness in the society. Insensitive society cannot be happy. When everything is such a rich country is here. Here everything is in plenty. As I told you yesterday, we in England we pick up only one tissue paper. You buy the box and one tissue paper. Here Americans they pick up 5. Such extravagance is there. You have plenty of things to show you not see. Why not to come to our senses and follow the regulated life? And the miseries will be less. At the moment, so much sickness is around. You people know more than me how much sickness is. The mental condition is completely gone. Because the regulated freedom we are not following. And we think that eating means I can put anything. Is it a go down? And more than go down, is it a cemetery for animals? If the animal is dead, it should be buried in a cemetery, isn't it? So is your stomach cemetery? Please ask these questions and try to find out the root of it and try to organize your eating. Then you can avoid a bit of misery. And even then you will be miserable. Because aging nobody can avoid. We are aging, I am aging, everybody is, without exception. There is no exception for this aging effect. But here Bhagavatam again gives us a clue how to minimize the aging. Aging nobody can stop, but we can definitely minimize by following the peaceful activities, God-conscious activities. We can reduce the age. It's very nicely said that Ayuhu Arati Going from some high moments of our own life, Hara means decreases. Why means definitely everybody's life is decreasing. How? Uddyamastan Yannaso. By rising of the sun and the setting of the sun, the day is gone. America is a very nice country. Do we not decrease our days? Is there any dignity you can increase? Here? No, no exception. Everybody has to decrease. As soon as the sun sets, one day is gone. And how many times the sun has set already in our life? How many days are gone? And they're gone, never to come back. These days are gone, they're gone forever. Please remember this. But here Bhagavatam shows, the Sanatana religion, eternal religion, shows the way out of it. If you don't want to decrease your life, or if you want to slow the process of aging, then he gives the formula. Tasyarute. There is one exception to this, he says. And what is that exception? Kshanam nita. Every moment should be utilized. Uttam Shloka Vata, in the discussion about God, Krishna. Then you will not decrease. I see so many times I have seen you. You look younger and younger. What's that? What medicine you are taking? Harikatha. some pastimes of Krishna, Lord. You know? And if you engage in this, definitely your mind will be pacified. And our health depends upon our condition of the mind. First mind goes wrong, and then the health follows. And mind will definitely go wrong if you break the instructions of God. That is definite. And this is only we are discussing eating. Sleeping also has to be regulated. Again, it is a nice touch. Cushy bed and cushy quilt and raining and cold and very nice place to sleep. Those who are condemned, living entities, they are sent to Minneapolis. Always cold. Everything what is available in hell is available in Minneapolis. Dark, rainy, damp, cold, no sun. That is the hellish condition. Minneapolis is hell. And we are dying to come to Minneapolis. And again, after coming here, we don't know the laws of God. Forget about God. I'm sleeping today. And the medical science has proved that if you keep yourself awake after 9 o'clock at night, your blood burns. And if you sleep after 4 o'clock in the morning, cough increases. And both of these things we are doing. We are burning our blood at night, and in the morning we are increasing our cough. And then no remedy. SARS is usually trouble. There is no cure. Please, please, please. We are unnecessarily victimized by these things, by our own foolishness. This is dukkha yana evati. In no faith, it is insisted that you will cross the limit of the God's instructions. And if you cross the limit, you are nowhere. You're going to, as it is, the material life is miserable. So we make it more miserable by our sinful attitudes. How are we going to improve our standard? I don't know. Our standards don't depend upon the artificial standards. Of the artificial standard of living is no living at all. You are depending on so many things. Simplicity is completely absent. And just to survive in this house also, we have so much to maintain and so much to expect. The running water must be there, electricity must be there, and all these houses are wooden houses. And live electricity day and night is flowing in his house. How long does it take for Krishna to have a short circuit somewhere? Within no time will be gone. Before you realize that you are going to die, you will be burnt. The houses are wooden houses. Inferno. Such a peculiar situation we have created. Under the years of the advancement. And this is the advancement. Please, please, come to the senses. Try to find out the laws of God and try to find out the limitations which He has given, and please behave in the limitations if you want to be happy. That is how. Otherwise, dukkha navayate, adyantant. All these things, they have adi, they have beginning, they have end. And this is how. For temporary things, we are running around so much and ignoring the eternal instruction of God. And we find out so many excuses. I can't follow this, I have to work and I do this and that. And this is only regarding the food we are talking. And then again with all the vegetarianism and everything, your intake must be very limited. Otherwise, all right, khichdi is there, come on. Who is supplying? I'm eating. Yes. No, women may supply, but the stomach is yours. And it's only 6 inches. Means again there is a limitation. In 6 inches stomach, how much you can stuff? There must be limitation, isn't it? There must be to a certain extent you take. This again there is a law. That please eat bit less. Then you will be healthy. Once we were traveling from Calcutta to Bombay, about 5 years ago, and it took nearly 36 hours journey. And there were other people also with us. So every station they were eating something, And we didn't eat anything. We had bought some bananas and oranges or something. So when the Bombay was nearing, they realized this is we ate so much. And you didn't eat anything. And I told them we had fruits and this. Somebody said fruits is not a solid food. So I told them we are going to take bath and take nice prasad in temple. Yes, he said, you are correct. Those who eat, they die. Those who don't eat, they don't die. He was very correct. Eat less and the comfortable living will be there. The strain on the body will be less. This is both ways it goes. The first thing is, we don't have to try the things which are not essential for the body. Dead bodies should never be put into mouth. And dead bodies completely should be avoided. Have nice prasadam, and that is also prasad we call it. Whatever you prepare, rice or dal or vegetables or whatever, you please offer it to Krishna. Patram Vishwam Phulam Paramtaya. He has inspiration what is to be offered to him. And then you please request him that please take it, and he is so very kind. He doesn't require anything from you. Do you think that Krishna is starving without your chapati? He is the source of everything. One of the names is Vishwambar. He maintains all the universes. Is he waiting for your prasad? No, because he is full. He takes prasad and returns everything to you. Whatever we offer to him, he doesn't consume. He consumes and he returns as it is. So much simple. And that's why our Vedic traditions are that everything is offered to Krishna. And this way, we are completely comfortable. The young boy is very comfortable when he goes with the father outside and he holds the finger of the father. So he knows that now I am safe. So he crosses the roads and everything. But he is not afraid at all. The fear is not there. Only the fear starts when he leaves the finger of the father. Then he is on his own. He doesn't know how to cross the road. He is baffled completely. Why? Because he has left the finger of the father. Please, do anything and everything. Don't leave the finger of the father. Our Father is very powerful. Always catch his finger and he will guide you fear. You will be fearless. So this Vidya-atma, regulated freedom activities, will make you completely safe. And this is not only food, but in all the activities, we should be behaving like this. And this is the only way. There is no other way. You may try so many other ways, not another gati. There is no other gati. There is no other way. We try to manufacture so many ways. And I do like this, I do like that, I do like that. But Royal Road is always one. Highway is one. Once you are driving on a highway, then you can close your eyes and drive. You will reach the destination. If you are going here and there, you have to find out the wrong way. So this, please stop these activities. Make your life very successful by following the regulated freedom. And those who follow this style, Prasadamadigatiri, they get the mercy of Krishna. Every life should be regulated. Every type of sense enjoyment must be regulated. There must be some place for the austerity in our life. We may call it penance or something. But austerity must be there. We don't like to get up early in the morning. But you have to force to get up. In all the species of existence, we have slept, we have eaten, we have mated, and we have produced children everywhere. And now again the same thing we are doing. So what's the difference between animal life and our life? Please try to recognize this. Here we are having higher intelligence. The higher intelligence should force us to understand what God is, who we are, and what is the relationship between God and us, and please follow as soon as possible. If you don't understand these things, do not worry. So much literature is with us. Here I would insist really to buy one small book written by Prabhupada, and it will give you everything. Your life is very busy in America, but you can read some 50, 60 pages or something, and it will give you the whole idea. And if you can touch Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, nothing like that really. Or other than whichever scripture you are following, please try to take the essence of scripture. Essence is same. The outer garb may be different here and there. And this is how we should mold our life. Life is meant for penance, as Prithu Maharaj says. This body is not meant for working hard. But we have to work hard because the setup of the government and economic condition is such that everybody has to work. It has to work. This house, they may have mortgage. By the time they clear the mortgage, they may be old. So they may pass away or whatever. Then again, their children have to inherit the property. So there is inheritance tax. 40% is gone in England. I don't know what is here. And they have to pay the cash immediately. If they don't pay, they have to vacate the house. So after vacate again, they have to find out their own houses. So father worked like a donkey for the whole life to free it. Again, the sons also have to work like a donkey. This was completely absent in the Vedic culture. We had kings, nice kings. They were known as saintly kings, Rajarshi. And we were staying in a Muslim kingdom when we were young. We had a whole house, big house. And every year, 1 rupee we had to pay the tax on the house. We never had any idea of the mortgage installments. No system was there. Nothing was completely absent. You build the house is yours. Every year you may pay on the land or house of 1 rupee or 8 another whatever. And that too my father was very troublesome. And that too we didn't have to go anywhere to pay. The clerk will have to collect 1 rupee. So every year he will come to our house Father will say him coming in the window. The Yamraj is coming in. And now in London, I don't know here, but in London, they have started a new. Today there are so many taxis. Well, this is a new one now again. In the center of the city, they have marked the central area. And any car passes through the center has to pay £5. And toll tax is there. If you are 18 years old, just to stay on that island, you have to pay nearly £10 per week. Then indirect taxes are there. Every community, you pay the tax. Then again income tax is there. Then again social security is there. Again medical tax is there. How many taxes? Can we survive in this? And again in all these different circumstances, our life is completely irregulated. And then brings the misery, more misery. As it is, from every corner, we are in a miserable condition. At least please, from your busy day, come half an hour, spare half an hour or so, and please come to this side. Try to see what is the way out of it. Otherwise, we have chronic diseases. When the ease is not there, these things will give you a bit of ease. And because you don't have ease, means you have disease. Disease is nothing. It's absence of ease. And absence of ease can never be cured by any tons of medicines. You may pour so many things into your mouth. How can you buy ease? If you want to have ease, you have to go to your father. The child will never be satisfied unless he is taking father or mother. He is dying for father or mother. So you may marry him, you may give him $1 million, he will never be satisfied. So you have to come to your father. Otherwise there is no ease. Here, the modern medical system is completely barred. The other day we had to talk with somebody and he said, are you having regular checkup? I said, no, there is no need of checkup. He said, no, every year I have a checkup. So I said, well, I'm not feeling anything, they may find out something. I don't feel I'm all right, why should I have a checkup? And then they may find out something that after 6 months, you have a heart attack. And they were scared. Oh, doctor, then what should be done? We start from taking medicine. Please, don't be scared until you are not feeling anything wrong. At least save yourself from these modern societies. Otherwise, bypass and this pass and that pass, and eventually pass. The only thing is, we want to have checkup when we are all right, because we don't want to die. And death is certain, as certain as death, we call it. Definitely, death is certain. Nobody can avoid it. So why should you be ready for death? Father told today that he is dealing with the old people who are nearing death. And he said they are very brave, they face the death, they are never afraid of death. That's the way to face the death. Otherwise, everybody has to go away. So why to hesitate? Sooner or later, it doesn't matter. Nothing is going to stop here. All the planes are flying. So many pilots are working. And daily they should be dying, isn't it? Pilots. But even when the plane doesn't stop, one goes, the other one goes, the other one goes. Nothing stops here in this world without us. Please, those things which are fixed by Krishna, we cannot avoid them unless we don't get scared and don't be victimized by these so-called modern arrangements. They're all clutches of Kali. They try to catch you somewhere. The more simple you are, the more you are attached to the scriptures, the more you will be free. The more you are attached to these clutches, you will be caught somewhere. Please, please try to save yourself from these unwanted nets. And there is only one way, that when we become completely free. I was in the hospital and I was very sick. So that would be all the tubes were here and they were feeding me and here from the tube was there. Then I was completely tired lying helpless like this. And the doctor came and he said, "Do you want to continue your treatment?" I said, "No." You are going to die, he said. So I told him, "You are not going to survive anyway." I was not in my senses really, but this somehow came out. Yes, that's correct, he said. So I told you, just please agree with me that I don't want your treatment. Oh, this patient doesn't want to survive. He's going to die. All right. They said, "No, take out all the tubes and everything." And I was completely free. Then I could sit on the bed, but there were no tubes, nothing. I don't know, so that nothing. I was very free. So he came, "How are you feeling?" I told him, "See, I denied your treatment, I'm free." And really I improved. Otherwise, I'm completely tied like a prisoner. This is not exaggeration, but that is how we are caught up. Oh, you want to survive? I say, yes, I want to survive. Then no tubes. Please, please. Everywhere has to go. Those who are prepared for death, those who don't hesitate to die, they never die. Those who are not ready to die, they'll definitely die. Please. But then we take recourse to the things which are not needed. One thing we should have full faith in, that if Krishna wishes, we survive. If he wishes, anyway, with all the tubes and everything, you are going to die. So why to have it? At the time of death, would you like to have all tubes into your body? Please, please, please. This is one of the arguments, not one of the suited arguments, so it's a fact. I many times tell if you want to die, please die in India, so nobody will care. You will save yourself from refrigeration. Then once they're dead already completely, come on, burn it. Bury it, or whatever. Nobody cares about it. That's nice death. After death, at least, why should I go to refrigeration? Please, please. This is a fact. And we are lunatics to follow this style. Sooner we stop this lunacy and come to God, it's very comfortable. Names of God are very comfortable. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama. How bright these people are. They don't do anything. This man, honestly, why are you chanting? How bright? They don't have anybody, nothing to worry about, no illicit connections. That is the main thing you have to understand. It is rampant in this country. Illicit sex life will kill you while surviving. Please avoid, for Krishna's sake. There is a regulated freedom. You marry first, association is nonsense. Doesn't make any sense. I'm very pleased that our where is that rascal? How is it? Time they're getting married, that's nice. Please, please. Avoid this nonsense under the name of the association. Don't give the date. No date. Forget about these dates. You can date with Krishna. Then I'm coming tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the morning. And Krishna will be pleased. You can have 100 dates with him. Then I'm coming in the afternoon. Come, he said. I'm going in the evening. Come. I'm not coming, then go. And die. Please, please. The main difficulty is that the parents are not God conscious. So they don't take care of their children. They themselves are astray. We don't know who our real father is. We don't know who our real mother is. We may be coming from a poor country, but at least we are proud that our real father and mother are there. Here it is impossible to track. Please, this situation has got to be corrected. Those who are getting married now, they should decide once for all that marriage is only once. And if they have children, fortunately or unfortunately, they must give minimum, they should give to their children is the real mother and father. It is the minimum required for the children. Are we animals that you produce and you leave them? It is a nonsensical sense desire. As soon as you produce, it's your duty to take care of them. Why government should take care of your children? Or why anybody should take care? Please, if you want to marry, here, open your eyes and open your ears. It's only once for lifetime. It's for austerity. It's not for sense gratification. It is not a patni means wife. It's not kama patni. It's not only for sense gratification. It's dharma patni. It's just go to Krishna. The union is sanctified. It is one of the sanskaras in our traditions. And these sanskaras are very pure. And as soon as the girl is married or the boy is married, then finished. There is no going here and there. Something goes wrong, something dies or something, they don't change the partners. By changing the partners, you are not going to be happy. Please carve these things in your mind, and then you come together if you take the wishes. If you don't come together, so far so better. Because this is all animal life we are following. Again, regulated freedom. Please try to learn from the devotees and elder ones. Take the shelter of the elder ones, like father and mother and teachers or whatever, and try to learn from them how they are surviving. A nice couple are Purnendu is here. He is married. Other couples are here. Anand is married. There's so many people here married, and they are going on very nicely. So please learn from them how to behave. This is Vruddhashrayam. This is needed. And unless you follow these things, you will never have the opulence. You may have sense gratification, but then you had as a hog also. And what is your sense gratification? You produce only one child. Hog in one go produces 12 children. Hog is much better. Please, don't have a hoggish life. This is regulated means. And if you don't come to your senses, then as it is, you will be consumed by so many diseases and so many things. And then again, the modern development is there. Economic stability is not there. So many things are going on around us, which are completely detrimental to all this following. So please try to make severe efforts to follow the correct line. And to follow the correct line, you must assemble in the groups like this, try to discuss the scriptures. Prabhupada is very much present in his books. He has given everything to you. Please repeat again and again and try to extract the essence for the good of your life. Otherwise, it will be less than an animal. You know, donkey? Donkey is a celebrated food animal among the animals also. Even the horse knows the donkey is food. Cows know the donkey is food. But even that donkey, if you offer a beer glass, you will not touch. And beer glass comes to less than donkey. At least be animal, if not human being. Stop this nonsense. Gutter water anybody drinks? The more rotten the beer is best, regarded best. And why? Nice jal is given by Krishna, clean water is given. Why to go to these things? But our eating habits are irregulated. So the food which we cannot digest, we drink, we eat. So we have to have some other type of drink to digest that. And even then the rotten meat doesn't get digested. It's not our food. Then we develop ulcers and so many types of other diseases and cancers and so many things. Please, please, please. How should I request you to come to the regulated life? I don't know really. I feel I'm from the generation where there was no irregulation was there. All the marriages were very regular and sanctified. I did not understand the illicit connections till I came to London. Then only I knew that this is all jungle. in the Vaishnava community, it was very straightforward. Everyone knew the wife belongs to this man, wife is this wife. Auntie is there, mother is there. So many relations were there. They were all very clean. Everybody was attracted to God. And God conscious life has so much impact on the society. The society was all very bright. No inability at all, no fighting. We will never utter a word divorce. That word was not uttered. To talk of actual divorce. We didn't utter that. Society was very peaceful. And then very nicely, such a big village we had, nearly 1 lakh population, 100,000. And there was only one policeman. And his duty was to bang the time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, down. And we didn't know more than that. I thought the police duty is to bang. I didn't know that his duty is to bang the human being. Such was a nice society. We want to revert back. Please. Enough of this nonsense. Come to your friends. And please follow something. If you have any difficulty, the group is here already. Please increase this consciousness. Get together, you elders. Please guide the younger ones. Tell you, is it? Where is Jimmy? Is not here. Sure. So they are surviving in a marriage. Ask them how they survive. Terry shows the way, I heard. Yeah. Terry and Jimmy. Jimmy. So Jimmy, we should tell the secret,
Yes, dear.
Yeah. He said, what is it? Yes, dear. That's successful marriage. Please.
The wife says, say yes, dear, and marriage will survive.
Somebody said, tolerance is there. Tolerance is the key word. Otherwise, nothing survives.
I'm pretty sure there is no sound coming.
Girl should be protected, always. He said, what is it? Yes, dear. That's successful marriage. Please.
The wife says, say yes, dear, and marriage will survive.
Somebody said, tolerance is there. Tolerance is the key word. Otherwise, nothing survives. You tolerate each other. And that is how the children become very happy. The children want mother and father both. They lack, and then they become mental. What is mother and father? In your country, everything is absent. So naturally, The children are really in a very poor shape and condition. Please don't exploit the children at any time. Particularly the girls. Girls should be protected always. Till they attain the age, should be protected the father. Once they attain the age, father and mother must help them to find out the partner. Look to the partner whether he is all right or not. Then only marry them. Otherwise, let them worship Krishna. That is the best way. Don't throw them away. And so the male children also. Please, please. Culture, our culture, human culture must improve. Must improve. It's all practical. Otherwise, even God's names will not help you really. The behavior must improve. On one side, the behavior should be completely sublime, and then you are at ease. And with that ease, you please come to Krishna. And Krishna will accept. Reserve, please. In whichever condition you are, maybe you are not in a suitable condition. Then forget about other things, and you please start chanting God's names. God's names will equally powerful as God. They will help you in all circumstances. Don't tell them, no, now we are crossed, now we cannot do anything about our improvement. No. Don't be nervous like that. Please start chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. In any situation, names will help. Don't be discouraged, please. Discouragement should be completely absent. Otherwise, frustration will be there. Don't get frustrated. Please try to follow this thing, and Krishna will help you. Jai Shri Bhagavad Ki. Thanks.
Hare Krishna. Jai. His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Tirava Mahotsav ki Jai. Krishna Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So please, if you can show your faces, please. It would be very nice to see your faces. All of yours. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so everybody liked the lecture of Maharaj. Yeah, very typical. This is what Maharaj gives, and how Maharaj brings the whole philosophy, and how he sees it was interwoven in the culture of the family, of the society, and always Maharaj brings it down to the family, how somehow or other tolerate each other, and with tolerating husband-wife, things will improve, and especially for husbands, But Maharaj's emphasis upon husbands is very, very tricky, very difficult, but it's how it is. Okay, very nice. So there was a question and answer session also after this, but we were, because of time paucity, I had to stop there because we are already 7-8, and there are homages being offering in them. So today also, just before that, we have His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj are not very well. You heard Maharaj are in COVID, has affected by COVID, and with so many of Maharaj's personal servants. So we pray for Maharaj's well-being, for our purification. So I did not promote this event on Facebook and all, big way, because of this situation. So we were very respectful towards the other disciples, who may be a bit distressed with Maharaj's health and all. Okay, so now His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj were born in the year 1920. So how many years have passed now? Can anybody count, please? 2020? 101 years have passed now, of course. 101 years. And Maharaj were born in a Vaishnava family, 8th generation Vaishnava. So everything to be offered to Krishna was always there, Maharaj was always trained. I remember Maharaj said to me, and would give to everybody, said, have less foam in the house. I remembered Maharaj saying here also, less the foam, the better, and chairs, the less chairs, the better. I remember in Nashik when Maharaj was staying in a house, his son's house, the family home. Actually, there were no chairs. There was nothing, no chairs, no nothing. And one point in time when Maharaj was resting, so quietly one of the personal servants, he told me, Prabhuji, why don't we go and buy chairs? Buy some chairs. People come here, they sit down. Maharaj was very happy, So we took hold of Maharaj's younger brother, Mathura Das Prabhu. He's still there. He's on Facebook, social media as well, Mathura Das Prabhu. Very nice, very jolly person. So we requested him. He came. He used to ride a bike, and we went and we bought things. Maharaj woke up in the afternoon, and we just made sure there were only plastic chairs, not foam chairs. So some plastic white colored chairs we bought somewhere. And then Maharaj said, thank you, Amrish, you give all this thing. I said, no, Maharaj, everything is Maharaj's only. So quietly 3-4 chairs we put in the room, and that remained for guests to come and sit on a chair, Okay. All right. So this is a time where all our programs, our complete programs, are conducted by His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. I always ask all of you, all the participants of a program, do you feel the presence of, or do you feel being sheltered? Somewhere, some shelter, And this shelter, if you feel, is only by the mercy of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. For that we all feel sheltered and protected. Somehow or other we are satisfied. And that is our test. Personally, it is my test with my family. And all of your seniors as well. As long as our participants, all of them, they feel sheltered, then we are doing something right. So to start off today's discussion now, offering, I would like to, I think, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, would you like to say a few words? You have some association with Maharaj as well. And just a few words if you like to say something. It'll be very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for that, for giving a chance to say something. First of all, we know very important time to celebrate the spiritual master of Vyasapuja. It is not just just the day comes, we do celebrate, and then not just keep going. But as I said, Amrish says every day it is our Vyasapuja day, our spiritual master. That means what? You have to understand his instructions and follow. As you said, Maharaj in the class, many points he brought up today's class. That's very important, especially like a Grihastha family. And he said very important, the regulated life. It is very important. The Maharaj, they keep repeating and giving instructions, and he also requesting, not just just say the words. No. He always requesting. That's the mode of Vaishnava, great Vaishnava, like that. This is very important, and also he put many points like so, especially if you want to follow any like a if you buy some instrument and all, we need some manual. Is without the manual we do not know how to operate. So Krishna is like a Bhagavatam, is the Bhagavad Gita is a manual for us. I know he's clearly mentioned Maharaj, and these manuals we have to be chew every day. It is not just, just read something and leave something, go for further. You have to repeat those things. You just keep repeating. This is very important. And Maharaj is very special, and it's not when his class was very, very, it is in the mood of everyone can give attention in all the time. In such a way, giving a very classes in such a way. I remember, um, um, uh, uh, when I came to, like, at almost 20 years back, and Maharaj used to visit, and it is a great opportunity to me, as I have a close associated with the Maharaj. And and on one thing, one Maharaj says, um, so when you have an associate, when you have an associate with the person like a Vaishnavas, you have to be very, very serious, in the sense you have to be attentive in the class. I know, once you remember, one of his giving a class, one of his in the house, and young boys, they're also Vaishnava background of mother and father. And Maharaj was discoursing about Bhagavad Gita on that evening, one evening, and the boy sometimes give attention, sometimes not giving attention. And Maharaj was he is following, what's happening, whether everybody is giving attention or not. And it is too much, that disturbing quite a lot, in the sense. And Maharaj is immediately says, please leave your room first. And the boy was, he wanted to ask Maharaj, why no, can you please leave your room? So then he left the room after, then, and the finally, when the Maharaj, when the course was going, classes was going, everybody was listening seriously, and the question and answer, and one devotee asked, Maharaj, is any reason why very seriously he asked me to go, leave, and why can't you can tell them to silent? And Maharaj says, so the one when I started Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, he started diverting attention, and not only him, he is also diverting attention for others as well. I am just following his whether he can come back or he is showing the attentive mood, but no, that's the reason why I am asking him. See, you have to be very careful when you associate with the Vaishnavas. You have to be very careful. That's what Bin Bhagavatam says in the 5th canto. They say one sloka nice says, Mahasevam dvaram ahur imuktes tamo dvaram yoshitam sangi sangam. See, that means, because when the Vaishnavas is serving, that the situation where we have to be very careful, very attentive. If they're not attentive, if they're not listening, if they're not what is happening? Yoshitam sangam. If we don't listen, if we don't have that proper association, what's happening? Tamodwaram. That means we have to be like go to the tamo. That's the lowest place. So that's what this very important. Very when we associate. That's what Maharaj clearly said. You have to be associate like a like-minded. You have to repeat the words, repeat what Krishna says, repeat the what sloka, those things in as much as possible. Do not waste our time. This is very important. Maharaj, is instructing us. This is really, it is not only it is just I am remembering sometimes, when his instructions, and it's not only me. It is also applying for myself, especially I am one Maharaj says it should be tolerance. this tolerance is very, very important, especially for me. I am always, go out of the tolerance. This is a lesson I have to learn. For me, not only me, even my family, to learn this lesson, this tolerance, how we can tolerate. Once you have a tolerance, then we can, our sadhana will improve. If there is no tolerance, our sadhana really, whatever we chant, whatever you hear, is just, it is, going down. This is tolerance, very important. This is very important to, take instructions of His Holiness, and always you have to request Maharaj. Even though he was physically, in the Krishna Lokam, he always take a blessings, always take a mercy on him, to give so much mercy, so that we can, especially for me, I can associate like his disciples, elevated disciples, to hear those instructions through them. So this is very important, and really, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, for your nice realization. Hare Krishna. We have kept on purpose this program small, with only the Hare Krishna WECAN core devotees, and those who are close here, because as I said that we did not invite other devotees from others, so they also would like to come and communicate. Hope they understand this, because of His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami Maharaj's health issue. So we want to keep it small and tidy there. Okay, now we can have can request Avinash Kishwabu to please read your offering, and if you can keep it to about 3-4 minutes, please, so everybody can cover it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. I will repeat the same offering, Prabhu, which I wrote to Maharaj Vyasapuja in Rajkot. Om Agyana Tivindasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshumintavena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadhakribam Mahavishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine Mahavishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter unto his lotus feet? Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj, happy Vyasapuja. All glories to Srila Gurudeva, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Sri Gauranga. Please accept my Danda Pranams. Thanks for being the guiding force in our lives. I feel your presence every day and every moment. I really do not know and understand the real etiquettes to be able to offer you anything. Therefore, Maharaj, please ignore my imperfections. Maharaj, you always insisted on finding practical solutions from the Vedic scriptures and apply them in our day-to-day life and teach others to do the same. Maharaj, as you know and have said many times about power of time and how to protect ourselves from the onslaught of it by keeping engaged in devotional service. COVID-19, the disease called pandemic, has influenced this year and changed the entire world politically, socially, economically, and physically. Nobody can say that they are not affected by this disease. Even the most powerful nations are on their knees. Billions of people have died and are suffering helplessly. In spite of such a devastating impact of time, the entire mankind is not even thinking of the existence of God, that's Lord Krishna. They are busy in finding a temporary solution and are being cheated helplessly. This is not the first time and definitely not the last time where Krishna, as time, has shown his existence. But as Maharaj say all the time that only a devotee can see and feel Krishna in such situations. This is exactly what has happened with WECAN Namahat. Because of your mercy, our Namahat group has used this unfortunate situation as a preaching opportunity, and now able to serve and impact more lives, both nationally and internationally. My offering to you, Maharaj, is an instruction by Mahatma Vidura to Dhritarashtra in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, verse 20, about power of time. Yena chaiva bhipannoyam pranahi priyatamair api janaha sadyo vyujveta kim uta nyayra dhanadibihi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whoever is under the influence of Supreme Kal, that is eternal time, must surrender his most dear life and what to speak of other things, such as wealth, honor, children, land, and home. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, that's a very small purport. A great Indian scientist busy in the plan-making business was suddenly called by invincible eternal time while going to attend a very important meeting of the planning commission, and he had to surrender his life, wife, children, house, land, wealth, etc. During the political upsurge in India and its division into Pakistan and Hindustan, so many rich and influential Indians had to surrender life, property, and honor due to the influence of time. And there are hundreds and thousands of examples like that all over the world, all over the universe, which are all effects of influence of time. Therefore, the conclusion is that there is no powerful living being within the universe who can overcome the influence of time. Many poets have written verses lamenting the influence of time. Many devastations have taken place over the universe due to the influence of time, and no one could check them by any means. Even in our daily life, so many things come and go in which we have no hand, but we have to suffer or tolerate them without remedial measures. That is the result of time. Maharaj, the only remedy and hope is Krishna's mercy and blessings of a pure devotee to be able to realize and make efforts to save ourselves and be able to serve. The most important thing to always remember that we are only the means and very helpless to do anything. Maharaj, due to your causeless mercy, we are following His Grace Ambarish Prabhu as instructed by you and would like to do so rest of our life, because that is the only hope to protect ourselves from onslaught of time and feel you and your mercy every moment. Maharaj, I have nothing to claim as my achievement to list out except that I try to follow WECAN Namahat in true spirit and best of my abilities. But as Maharaj know, I am a big hypocrite and very lazy to be able to do anything. I still do many mistakes and have not been able to develop taste to the Vedic scriptures. Maharaj, but I am very clear in my heart at the moment that the only hope for me is to remain attached to you and WECAN group and its wonderful devotees for the rest of my life and remain engaged in some kind of divine service. Maharaj, please ignore my inabilities and mistakes in my offering to Maharaj and bless me so that I can keep serving Maharaj. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, your eternal servant and most fallen Avinash Krishnadas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Avinash Krishna Babu. Avinash Krishna Babu, along with his wife, Gurmai Saraswati Mataji, they are our senior devotees. And really, in true sense, they are like the pillars, which is and the fountainhead of our preaching expositions and activities. Wherever he uses, the one uniqueness about Avinash Krishna Babu is that he uses his intelligence to go back to basics and see where it is correct matching or not, and he'll always come back there. That's a very rare quality, to be able to really understand and implement what one has learned from one's guru, and at the same time know that they are not cheated. That is the most important thing. I draw a lot of inspiration from both of them personally. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru. So now I will request Saraswati Mataji would like to give your offering, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm not not very good at speaking, but whatever I have prepared, I will just speak. Om Jnanatirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatharini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Gurudev Vyasapuja ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev, and all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at Gurudev's lotus feet. Maharaj, please accept my humble offering on the auspicious occasion of Vyasapuja. I have prepared something from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Verse 9. Yada cha parth prahitah sabhayam jagat gururiyani jagat Krishna natani punsam amritayanani rajorumine kshat punyaleshaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Krishna was sent by Arjuna into the assembly as the spiritual master of the whole world. And although his words were heard by some like Bhishma as pure nectar, it was not so for the others, who were completely bereft of the last farthing of past pious works. The king, which is Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana, did not take the words of Lord Krishna very seriously. Shri Krishna, who is the Lord and spiritual master of the whole universe, accepted the role of a messenger on behalf of Pandavas just to avoid a dreadful war between the two parties. Lord Krishna, who is equal to all living entities, presented his peace proposal in the court of King Dhritarashtra. But because of the greedy and envious nature, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra did not accept this peace proposal. This verse shows that the same words spoken by the spiritual master have very different effects on different persons. Srila Prabhupada very beautifully explains in his purport as below. The message of Godhead is always like nectar to the devotees, but it is just the opposite to the non-devotees. Sugar candy is always sweet to a healthy man, but it tastes very bitter to persons suffering from jaundice. Many times we meet such persons who are very successful materially, but as soon as we talk about Krishna, they would not listen at all. That is why Srila Prabhupada has given the example of sugar candy. In the materially diseased condition, one cannot taste the sweetness of Krishna's name. But in the association of pure devotees, the same name of Krishna gives one very sweet and satisfying taste. Maharaj, in this age of hypocrisy and quarrel, pure devotees like Maharaj are trying to deliver fallen souls who are misguided due to their ignorance. Maharaj, due to COVID-19 situation this year, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji is very successfully conducting online classes, and we are very fortunate to hear beautiful realizations from devotees and learning new things. Under Maharajji's guidance, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Poon Pragya Mataji, and Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhuji are trying to take preaching programs to the next level. We are also trying to follow them, although we are not worthy of it. Maharaj, please bless us so that we can also be engaged in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, please ignore my mistakes as I am very imperfect. Please overlook my mistakes. Thank you for accepting me as your disciple. Always begging for the mercy of Maharaj and all the wonderful Vaishnavas. Srila Gurudev ki jai, your most fallen disciple, Sarvasiddhi Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Saraswati Mataji. So Saraswati Mataji, along with Avinash Krishna Prabhu, are very much pillars of our whole setup, and big backbone supporting my wife and myself. And under their guidance, now we are preaching far and wide, including India. And I also offload many responsibility on them to go and train newer devotees, and especially train our counselors. Now I would like to request Sheetal Prabhu, and after him his wife, Namrata Mataji. They both, along with their daughter, Navina, have been very sincerely following the programs. And we can see their scholarly achievements and how they are preaching this Krishna consciousness movement as Srila Prabhupada has instructed in the mood of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. And also Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, who has a lot of experience in associating with so many devotees, will also see that the quality of realizations that we can get from younger devotees like Srila Prabhu and all are very high. Is it not so, Prabhuji? When you meet on Wednesday's class, is it not so? Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, am I right?
Yeah, perfectly is right, Prabhuji. This is very, 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 yes, special what we are doing.
Very nice, thank you. So now I would like to request Sheetal Prabhu to please give your offering. If you can read your offering, please. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu, for this wonderful opportunity to share my offering on this very auspicious occasion. So I never met His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj in person, but we know Maharaj through His Grace Amrish Prabhu and family and Nahamata programs. So we heard quite a lot about Guru Maharaj and his instructions and his transcendental melodies. And so we know Maharaj through his Vani, instruction only. And still, we have quite a big impact in our lives, what Maharaj has instructed, especially the transcendental melodies that His Grace Amrish Prabhu, he sends out every day. And we also have a calendar actually made up by one of his disciples, which are actually those instructions. Means we used to actually study those instructions in Nahamata programs before this COVID-19 happened. And those instructions, even they are actually punchlines, they have made a big impact in my life, and I'm pretty sure everyone who follows this program as well. And actually, it's like Maharaj speaking to us on daily basis. As Krishna Madhav Prabhu also said that actually it's very hard to tolerate things in this material world. And especially for me, actually, I'm a bit short-tempered, and I used to get upset with so many things. But these melodies has actually changed me to a certain extent, and still helping me a lot. It's just like a Paramatma speaking to you from within yourself all the time, and that actually help me keep myself in control. So I'm very, very actually grateful to Maharaj's teachings, and certainly very grateful to His Grace Amrish Prabhu family for actually passing this instruction down to us as it is. So I would like to actually now read my formal offering that I prepared for this Vyasapuja. So I will read that through. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble Danu Pranam. All Gurus to Srila Prabhupada, all Gurus to Srila Gurudev, all glories to Shri Shri Gaurang. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते महाविष्णु गोस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुर्वे नमः। I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Sri Gaurang. All glories, all glories, all glories to you, dear Guru Maharaj, on this most auspicious day of your Vyasapuja. I'm again feeling very insignificant as I'm not at all qualified to write an offering to such a great and elevated soul like you. So please kindly allow me to do so, and please forgive my offenses. This day is very auspicious to me because if you were not appeared in this material world, we may not have received this priceless shelter that we have received through His grace, Ambrish Prabhu and family. He has given us your devotional mood, Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and everything that we know now in our Krishna conscious endeavor, which can be nicely explained by the following verse. Nama Shreshtam Manum Api Sachiputram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Grajam Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Aho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of Son of Sachimataji, Lord Chaitanya, the association of Srila Swarupa Damodar, Rupa Goswami, and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radhakund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhav Krishna in Vrindavan. I am eternally indebted to His Grace Ambrish Prabhu and his family for offering us your divine shelter and guiding us on this path of perfection. I am eternally indebted to both of you. Only because your causeless mercy, I am able to give up many obnoxious material habits which were hindering my progress on this path. Thank you very much for your mercy. This year is very significant in many ways. COVID-19 epidemic brought entire world to its knees and millions suffering. Myself and my family is also affected by this, and we lost our material jobs. His guest Ambrish Prabhu and family really help us during this time. Their advice and assurance and their strong faith in Krishna consciousness really help us. Also your shelter, devotional training, and our prayers to our disciplic succession and Shri Shri Radha Giridhari kept us strong and help us find new jobs and protect our devotional service. Thank you very much for your mercy, and thank you to His Grace Ambrish Prabhu and family for all the help. I remember the following verse reflecting on this experience. Ananya sachinta yanto mam e janaha paryupasate tesham nitya viyuktanam yoga kshemam vaham aham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Although I am contaminated and my devotional service is not pure, still full of material desires, Lord Krishna still protected us during this difficult time. And it's only because of yours and Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy that we receiving through His grace Ambrish Prabhu. I'm very grateful to you all, and this experience has strengthened my faith in Sri Sri Radha Giridhari. One great thing that happened due to this COVID-19 pandemic is that it really improved the realization of the serious devotees in Hare Krishna WECAN program. Everyone is giving nice class and realizations on the scripture that we are studying and understanding, and the quality of realizations are really great. Everyone is preaching through our Sunday programs, personal home programs, Kartik month programs, and it is really helping me to improve my understanding of scripture. Guru Maharaj, I always remember you are following Transcendental Melo. Those who read, they do not understand. Those who preach only understand. This really inspired me, and this is now a realization. Unless you preach, you are not going to understand and realize this instruction in real sense. And I want to implement this to best of my ability. His Grace Ambrish Prabhu is always instructing us all to do the preaching, and all credit goes to his tireless efforts that everyone is progressing very nicely. But I am not progressing and still having difficulty to find time to study scriptures seriously and understand them. I really want to preach, however, I couldn't able to progress on this path. So I beg you to give me your extreme causeless mercy so that I can able to do the preaching effectively to as many people as I can. Without your causeless mercy, it is not possible to achieve this goal, as confirmed in following beautiful verse. Mahat kripa vina karme bhakti naya Krishna bhakti dure rahu samsare nahare shaya. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say nothing of Krishna bhakti, one cannot be relieved from the bondage of material existence. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya, chapter 22, verse 51. So I should pray for your extreme causeless mercy, as Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayer for the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagvat prasado, yasya prasadana nagati kutopi, dhayan stuvam tasya yasya sri sandham, vande gurorshe charnarvindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. Thus, I sincerely pray unto the lotus feet of you, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Acharyas in your disciplic succession for their extreme causeless mercy to help me and my family to become Krishna conscious and to serve the preaching mission of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you are well known for putting Bhagavatam in practice, and I am always inspired by your lectures and transcendental melodies and your strong faith in the scriptures. I again want to offer following verse in your glorification. We have known you through your Vani, and your godly qualities can be nicely described by following Srimad Bhagavatam verse, Canto 3, Chapter 25, verse 21. Titikshava karunikaha suradaha sarva dehinam ajat satravaha santaha sadhavaha sadhu bhushana. The symptoms of a sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, and friendly to all living entities. He has no enemies. He is peaceful. He abides by the scriptures, and all his characteristics are sublime. My daughter Navina also reciting various prayers and verses very nicely and trying to chant 7 rounds daily. We are trying to train her as per your instruction in her devotional service. My wife is also doing her best to do her devotional service and chanting daily. All credit goes to you and His Grace Ambrish Prabhu. Please give your causeless mercy to them so they can progress nicely under your shelter and follow your instruction nicely. Once again, I thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhu, His Grace Purnapagya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for their extreme causeless mercy, for guiding, training, and taking care of us, and for everything they have doing to help us progress in our devotional service. I also very thankful to His Grace Avinash Prabhu and family, His Grace His Grace Avinash Prabhu, His Grace Sarvasiddhi Mataji, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhu, His Grace Dolly Mataji, His Grace Anish Prabhu, and His Grace Archana Mataji, His Grace Sopan Prabhu, and all new devotees for helping us progress on this path of Krishna consciousness. I beg all the devotees for their forgiveness for all the offenses that I have committed knowingly and unknowingly. Thank you very much for all the opportunities. Your most fallen and unqualified servant. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Organised Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Shri Gurudev ki jai. Now we would like to call upon Her Grace Namrata Mataji to give her offering today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You need to unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much, Amrish Prabhu, for giving this nice opportunity. Actually, I'm not good at writing offerings, but I tried my best to write it. My video might be get disturbed because I'm gonna read it through my mobile as well. So please forgive me. So I'm reading my formal offering. Please accept my humble Dandavat pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Iti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Before I read the offering to His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, I would like to thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, for giving me this nice opportunity to share my realization on that such a auspicious occasion, even though I do not have any qualification to do so. Dear Maharaj, please kindly accept my most humble obeisances at your divine lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you on this auspicious day of your Vyasapuja. Guru Maharaj, this year I have not progressed much in my devotional service. Due to COVID situation, me and my husband both lost our jobs, and I also faced some health issues, which affected my devotional service. When we discussed this with His Grace Amrish Prabhu and Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji, they guided us very nicely in this difficult situation. During this time, I used to pray to you for strength to overcome from this situation, and because of your kind, causeless mercy, everything started to fall in place, and we both got the new jobs in time. I'm so grateful to you and His Grace Amrish Prabhu and family for all your help and blessings. Guru Maharaj, although I'm not spending much time reading scriptures, I'm hearing Namahata online classes every Wednesday and Sunday, which is really helping me to understand these scriptures. But I need your extreme causeless mercy so that I can able to study these scriptures more and try to implement it in my life. But without your mercy, it is not possible. Mukam karoti vachalam pengam langayate girim yati kripatam aham vande Shri Gurum Taranam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. As Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual master, Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya prasadana na gati gutopi. ध्यायन्स्तुवां तस्य यस्य श्रीसन्ध्यां वन्दे गुरो श्री Charanam Ravindram. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for this mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. Thus I sincerely pray unto the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the acharyas in our disciple succession for their extreme causeless mercy, so that I can able to progress on this path. Guru Maharaj, please bless our Namahata family so that every year we will be able to do more and more services, and thus we would be able to please you, Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Girdhari, and purify our souls. I will be always grateful to His Grace Amrish Prabhu for always keeping us engaged through Namata online programs, emails, and transcendental melos, and his valuable guidance to me and my family. I will be always grateful to Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji for engaging me in cooking service. Her invaluable guidance is really helping me to progress on this Krishna conscious path and revolving lot of our material difficulties as well. Once again, I thank you, Guru Maharaj, for giving me such a precious Namath family, and will be always grateful to you and His Grace Amresh Prabhu, Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for all the causeless mercy, for training and taking care of us, and for everything that they have done to help us progress in our devotional service. I also very thankful to His Grace Avinash Prabhu and family, His Grace Sanju Prabhu and family, His Grace Avinash Prabhu and family, His Grace Sopan Prabhu and all new devotees for helping us progress on this path of Krishna consciousness. I also beg all the devotees for their forgiveness for all the offenses that I have committed knowingly and unknowingly. Thank you very much for this opportunity. You are most fallen and unqualified servant, Namrata. Thank you very much.
Jai Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Okay. Hare Krishna. So now I would like to request Sanjeev Prabhu to give his offering. Sanjeev Prabhu, I have personally a very high expectations from him. And he is so far living up to the expectations, and he's the one who will really take the preaching forward, in the way that we want to be. Sanjeev Prabhu has the ability of understanding what is good for himself and the family, and he can pick up those qualities and implement it. That's one thing which I admire from him, and in a short time, I could offload some important responsibilities on him, and he, along with his wife, Mother Dolly, and the 2 children, are nicely serving and supporting us in our program. So, yes, Sanjay Prabhu, would you like to please give your offering? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my offering, and thank you for having trust in me. Although I'm very fallen and not qualified at all, it's all because of your training that I'm able to do preaching work. So all glories to Srila Gurudev and his Vyasapuja occasion. I had actually, I didn't get chance to do have a Vapu association with Guru Maharaj, but we have his Vani association very much in our life. We changed our life, and I had one chance to attend Vyas Puja in Rajkot in 2014 with His Grace Amrish Prabhu, and that experience I will never forget. And when I first time visited Guru Maharaj Samadhi, and it was very electrifying and changed my life. So I will read the offering, what I prepared. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. All glories to Shri Shri Gauranga. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते महाविष्णु गोस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। ओम अज्ञानं त्रिमन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुर्मितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my Guru, my spiritual master, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble pranams unto you. Maharaj, because of the shelter of Hare Krishna weekend, under your guidance, I am engaged in the devotional service. His Grace Amrish Prabhu and his family tirelessly give us the opportunity to preach the message of Srila Prabhupada and engage us in the service. Now, because of nice training given to us, we are doing programs at different people's homes and doing preaching under the guidance of His Grace Amrish Prabhu. We are transforming our lives under your shelter, Maharaj, because your causeless mercy. I'm regularly studying Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. It is said to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Maharaj, you are my spiritual master and Shiksha Guru. I am getting Shiksha and training by His Grace Amrish Prabhu, which is in the mood of your service. I am very grateful to you to give me shelter and opportunity to perfect my life. You have showed us practical implementation of Bhagavatam, which is engaging me or encouraging me to become serious and sincerely follow Krishna consciousness path. I'm studying Srimad Bhagavatam in practice. It's called that book in which devotees shared lectures given by you and their realizations. It is so inspiring to read about Maharaj's pastimes. I want to share an expert from introduction of this book. Quote, Maharaj could relate even the most ordinary event to the scriptures, and for even a seemingly ordinary subject matter, Maharaj could offer a spiritual perspective. He was a genuine guide in our struggle to carry on the material life, as well as for understanding the transcendence. His presentation of the scriptures, and especially Srimad Bhagavatam, which is his life and soul, was not a dry academic subject to be theorized and armchair philosophized about. Maharaj spoke and lived the essence of the scriptures and made everyone understand that the scriptures are not in the cloud or in the sky, but very much on the ground, intimately related to our day-to-day life. That way, he is a practical Mahabhagavat and a down-to-earth Paramhansa. The humility which Maharaj exhibited is a conclusive proof of his greatness. Thank you, Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, your most fallen servant, Sanjeev Seni. Prabhuji, I would like to thank you all, the devotees, our Namahata devotees also, for tolerating me and giving nice guidance, His Grace Avinash Prabhu and Her Grace Mataji, Sarsiddhi Mataji, and Sopan Prabhu and Sheetal Prabhu and Namita Mataji, because our Namahata family, because of our Namahata family, we get so much of opportunity. As you always say that alone we can't, but together we can. So Amrish Prabhu given us a nice platform, nice training and opportunity to serve Srila Gurudev, the message of spread the message of Srila Prabhupada. So I just beg the mercy of Srila Gurudev on this occasion to give me more strength and to serve you better, Maharaj, and in preaching work. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Jai Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Now, Dolly Mataji must be at work. Is she? Can she give her offering or?
She just finished. I think she should be on her way to home. Maybe she can give in the end or when she reach home.
Okay, we'll wait for some more time. No problem at all.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Sopan Prabhu. Sopan Prabhu is a very special devotee. You know, he's very inspiring devotee. He's the senior most by age in our program, and he joined us at a later stage in his life, but he's rapidly progressing. You know, I had to make a call where at a very initial stages I had to move him to intermediate program also, and from beginners program to intermediate and then to serious program. And I told him, I'm giving you, normally I don't do this, but your age is your that's against you there. But I can tell you one thing, he has made age instead of against him for him. So the time he has come to us and how he was looking then, he has actually become younger. But do you all agree? All of you agree? You look younger than before? Yes. He came, he looked older. Now he looks very young, you know. And every service, yes, I'll go and do it. Even now he was telling me on something happened in the center. I said, I'll go and check out tomorrow. So if you got time, you can do it. Yes, I'll definitely do it. Very enthusiastic like a young man. And yes, he has a very nice family and young children, taking care of them, guiding them. And I firmly believe he is playing very important role, and he will play very important role in our preaching programs. Okay, so to you, Sopan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu, thank you for giving me an opportunity to give my offering. Actually, I have not seen Maharaj. One way I feel unfortunate, but I'm fortunate enough to see all devotees and the teaching of Maharajas through Amrish Prabhu and his family. I'm really fortunate, though I'm just in 7 years, but I feel that I'm senior most amongst, by knowledge, I think myself. But yes, I'm trying to get quickly knowledge through Amrish Prabhu. Yes, Amrish Prabhu always push me. I remember last time's lecture, I wasn't really prepared, but he pushed me and I was afraid, but he said, afraid means yes, don't worry. And I did that, and that's all credit goes to Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu, and all my dear devotees, though they always support me. So I'll give my offerings. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. All glories to Sri Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Padaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Padaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Paschat Deshtarani. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble Dandot pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Gauranga. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj, on this most auspicious day of Vyasapuja. I'm not really qualified to write an offering to such a great Guru like you. Thank you very much for giving me Hare Krishna WECAN program, which is headed by His Grace Amrish Prabhu, who is elevated devotee and your beloved disciple. I am indebted to His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Purna Pradnya Mataji, His Grace Krishna Prabhu, for giving your divine mercy and knowledge on this path of your teaching. They are spreading your teaching and instructions rigorously. This year, Hare Krishna WECAN has reached another milestone of spreading real knowledge of God consciousness all over the world through Zoom and YouTube media. Amrish Prabhu is always guiding me personally and spiritually. I have to focus on your instruction, Maharaj, as I'm still not serious and still struggling due to my material attachment. I really want to achieve my goal in my devotional service and follow all the instructions to progress on this path. But this is not possible unless I have your mercy, Maharaj. I'm so happy in Parampara system, in Hare Krishna WECAN, the teaching of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, and our disciplic succession have been influenced on me with love. I feel very fortunate to be here, and all glories to His Grace Amrish Prabhu and Guru Maharaj. Gurudev, my daughter and son, not taking much interest in Krishna consciousness as they are more in materialistic life. Gurudev, I pray your lotus feet that please bestow them your blessings and mercy so that slowly they come into the Krishna consciousness. Guru Maharaj, your teaching and instructions through Amrish Prabhu inspires me to study Bhagavad Gita. I try to memorize and study them, and it's helping me to understand and realize these instructions. I sincerely pray unto the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Acharyas in our disciplic succession for their extreme causeless mercy to help me and my family to become Krishna consciousness and to serve the mission of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. I sincerely oblige His Holiness, His Grace Amrish Prabhu for guiding, training, and taking care of me in devotional service. I have learned devotional and spiritual things from Shital Prabhu, Avinash Prabhu, Sanjay Prabhu, and Anish Prabhu. I am eternally indebted to Srila Gurudev for his shelter, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Vyasapuja Maharaj, Mahotsav ki Jai. Jai Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Your most fallen and unqualified servant, Sopan Dev Chaudhary, WECAN Namata. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Okay, thank you, Sopan Prabhu. Now we have Dolly Mataji here. Very nice to see you, Mother. You're back from your work today.
Thank you,
Very nice. Sanjay Prabhu gave his realization. Now we're waiting for you to give your offering, Mother. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Dolly.
Thank you. Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity to write such an important offerings to Srila Gurudev. Like I feel like I'm so unqualified to do that. But
your video, sorry, your video is stopped. Can you show your face, please? Yes, that's right. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Please. Again, it stopped.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji.
It doesn't matter. Just continue.
One moment, Prabhuji, I just have to read from. So thank you for this opportunity, Prabhuji, for asking me to write the offerings for Srila Gurudev. I just have to read and I felt so glad that we are part of this group where we started this journey like almost 10 years before to start this devotional service. And this is only get possible just because of Srila Gurudev's mercy, because we found someone who was like Srila Gurudev's disciple. And then we started this journey from you, Prabhuji. And this is obviously like the thank you to Srila Gurudev as well. And I would like to share my realization for first of all, I would like to say, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev, and all glories to Shri Shri Gauranga. Om Vachlanam Trimandashya, Jananjana Shalakaya, Chakshur Unmilitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Guruhe Namah. I was born in the darkness, born of darkness, ignorance, and my Guru, my spiritual master, opened up my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. I was suffering due to ignorance, just as one contracts a disease out of ignorance, because I had no idea of what is actual satisfaction and happiness in this world, because the one I was thinking about, the happiness and satisfaction, it was actually complete illusion. And if one does not know the hygienic principle, they will not know what will contaminate them. So the things like this was keep on continuing, contaminated me. And therefore, due to this ignorance, I was infected and I was suffering with the diseases. In this many years, I realized that without your presence, Srila Gurudev, I would have never understood the difference between this true and the fake happiness and this satisfaction, which I got when I started this journey and when I came in contact with Srila Gurudev and Prabhuji. And my birth and life has become such a great opportunity now for me to realize that we are the spirit soul and our only business is to serve Krishna. This is only be possible under the clear guidance of my spiritual master and through this Guru Shishya Parampara. And I feel like I'm so fortunate to come in contact with pure devotees, but I'm very, very fallen that I'm too slow in this process of growing my devotional service. I fall and stand back only because of your mercy, Srila Gurudev. And I just would like to say thank you so much for coming in this world and give us this such a great opportunity to grow and to change our lives through the devotional service while we are in the Guru Shishya Parampara. So thank you. Thanks to Amrish Prabhuji as well. Without you, Prabhuji, we would have never even think about following this path. So this is such a great opportunity to be with all the devotees, especially Matajis, who have so much patience. I have learned from them throughout these years. And thank you, Prabhuji, and all the devotees. And thank you, Matajis, especially Prajna Mataji and Sarvasiti Mataji, also Namita Mataji, which have so much patience with all of us. And this helps us too much to grow in our devotional service. This is my offerings, Prabhuji. Thank you. Your most fallen servant, Dolly Seni. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai. Thank you very much. His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Dolly Mataji also, along with two small children, she does cooking and hard work in the background, supporting my wife, Purnabhagya Vedasi, in our preaching activities. Okay, now we come to the final bit, which is not very important. I'll request Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu, if you read your offer, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for everyone else who give their very nice offerings. My offering pales in comparison to everyone's sincerity. So thank you very much for continuously inspiring us to continue on our preaching efforts. Okay, so I'll start my offering now. Om Agnana Timirandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Malitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev's Transcendental Vyasapuja Mahamotsav ki Jai. Dear Srila Gurudev, I am in no way qualified to write an offering at Maharaj's lotus feet. Please forgive me for all the offenses that I will undoubtedly cause. Maharaj, as I am now turning 22 in a couple of months, and I've nearly finished my education, I have been exposed to various schools of thinking, materialistic philosophy, and social normalities in which I'm expected to adhere to. It has undoubtedly been a challenging experience for me to navigate through a karmic lifestyle while still trying to find shelter in my sadhana and to follow in the footsteps of my parents in following Krishna consciousness. That being said, I can honestly say that this year is a year in which I have very much felt Maharaj's mercy upon myself, despite me being an unqualified disciple. Maharaj's transcendental mellows and daily quotes really enliven me and encourage me to continue on the path of Krishna consciousness, even when I feel burdened with education and social engagements. Maharaj's words offer unconditional nurture and comfort to me, and I feel Srila Gurudev's instructions to be as a grandfather guiding the grandchildren. Through Maharaj's Vani, I feel the warmth and connection of Maharaj and the Vapu. Even as an insignificant individual with countless flaws and no cause for mercy, I always feel as if each quote directly relates to my experiences or feelings at that particular moment. I have just now begun to grasp the extent of Maharaj's transcendental nature, and I pray that Maharaj continues to bestow Maharaj's mercy and guidance upon me, as I am completely incapable of maintaining spiritual progress without Maharaj's grandfatherly guidance. As is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, verse 45. Yavan kaya ratham atma vashopakalpam dhate garishta charanar charavat nishatam gnana sim achyuta balodhadadasta shastruhu svananda tushta upashanta idam vijahyat. Translation: as long as one has to accept a material body with its different parts and paraphernalia, which are not fully under one's control, one must have the lotus feet of his superiors, namely his spiritual master and the spiritual master's predecessors. By their mercy, one can sharpen the sword of knowledge, and with the power of the Supreme Personality of God's mercy, one must then conquer the enemies mentioned above. In this way, the devotee should be able to merge into his own transcendental bliss, and then he may give up his body and resume his spiritual identity. Only by the mercy of Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and my seniors will I be able to progress in developing a relationship with Lord Krishna. Srila Gurudev, I was only 10 years old when Maharaj gave me the greatest gift of my life, getting initiated by Srila Gurudev, giving me an opportunity to serve Srila Gurudev for the entirety of my life. Since the last few years, I began to appreciate the mercy Maharaj showed in giving me initiation in 2010. And yet this year, I really started to understand this unconditional, merciful blessing that Maharaj bestowed upon me. Because Maharaj initiated me as a young boy, my spiritual identity has remained completely unperturbed. Seeing people my age practicing Krishna consciousness who struggle to find spiritual role models, I feel extremely grateful and undeserving to receive Maharaj's association and to be initiated by Srila Gurudev. I recall telling my parents countless times that if I wasn't initiated by Maharaj, then at this stage of my life, my spiritual journey would have been seriously hindered and I would have felt alienated in Krishna consciousness. Yet by Maharaj's extreme causeless mercy, my spiritual path is right in front of me. Srila Gurudev, my parents have and continue to be an important guiding force in my spiritual life. They very obediently follow Maharaj's personal instructions and tirelessly preach, trying to imbibe Srila Gurudev's mood. It is only through them that I've begun to understand the power and mercy of Srila Gurudev, and I am eternally grateful to them for this. Maharaj, through the WECAN programs, I feel very engaged in Krishna consciousness. And as a family, we always feel Maharaj's protection and shelter over our family's preaching. Srila Gurudev, I humbly pray that Maharaj continue to bestow unconditional mercy on our family, and that our preaching continues to be conducted under the auspice and guidance of Srila Gurudev. Maharaj, I have not been able to convey my realizations very well about the impact that Maharaj has had on my life as I grow older, but I am sure Maharaj knows my heart. I humbly thank Maharaj for guiding me through my material and spiritual life and continuing to tolerate all my numerous flaws. Srila Gurudev, please give me the strength to serve and please Srila Gurudev under the expert guidance of my parents and to help me realize the amount of mercy Maharaj has given me, which I am yet too foolish to comprehend. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev's Transcendental Vyasapuja Mahamotsav ki jai. The most insignificant disciple of Krishna Samarpan Krishnadas. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Thank you, Krishna Prabhu, for your nice realization. No doubt it's a challenging thing for you. What inspires me the most about you is that you chant whatever happens. Even in your toughest of examinations, you do not sleep unless you chant your rounds. So please keep up the good work. That's best in your support in our devotional service at home, in our preaching endeavors. So you are already doing multitasking for so many years. No doubt you are blessed by Guru Maharaj. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Keep up the good work. Okay, now I'll request my wife, Purnapagya Vidasi, to give her offering, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. I'm also going to read from my mobile, so I'm not sure if my video is going to work or not, but I'll try. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakha Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev's Transcendental Centennial Vyasapuja 2020 Mahamahotsav ki jai. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. This year has been a year of unprecedented things and reflection due to the pandemic. It has certainly changed the way things and activities are done and questioned the status quo. This can be very bewildering for many people in the material world who we meet and who share their fears and helplessness. It has dawned upon the material world that they can face situations over which they have no control, and there can be difficulties and dangers at any step without warnings. We are so very fortunate to have come into contact with dear Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, giving us the ability and guidance to deal with these things. With the extreme causeless mercy of Srila Gurudev, the pandemic has affected Srila Gurudev's weekend preaching programs in positive ways amongst all the adversities. Srila Prabhupada's books are source of complete solace, wealth of knowledge, guiding force and shelter, and should be treasured with paramount importance. Srila Prabhupada translated these books day and night and for our benefit, and we would be most unfortunate to not take advantage and shelter of them. Srila Prabhupada said, I have spent so much time translating these books, you should take time to read them. Srila Gurudev has also emphasized a lot on reading Srila Prabhupada's books, practically applying and implementing the scriptures, and going to the scriptures in all times, thick and thin. His Grace Amrish Prabhu has relentlessly tried to imbibe and inculcate the habit of all our spiritual activities to be based on reading, understanding, realizing, contemplating, and practically implementing the great treasures of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and reminding us of Srila Gurudev's emphasis on taking shelter of these transcendental scriptures in all times and under all circumstances. This has taken preaching to another level, and all the sincere and loving devotees and their realizations are a testament to the same. We always remember Srila Gurudev's instructions that preaching is for us and not others, and I can completely agree and realize the same. The below verses from Srimad Bhagavatam are very apt in the current scenario. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 2, verse 32. Namame manataya aturam gaja kuta karinya prabhavanti mochitum grahena pasena vidhatura vrito pyam aham shatam yami param parayanam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The other elephants, who are my friends and relatives, could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of Providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always a shelter of everyone, even of the great personalities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This material world is described as padam padam yad vipadam, which means that at every step there is danger. A fool wrongly thinks that he is happy in this material world, but in fact he is not, for one who thinks that way is only illusion. At every step, at every moment, there is danger. In modern civilization, one thinks that if he has a nice home and a nice car, his life is perfect. In the Western countries, especially in America, it is very nice to possess a good car, but as soon as one is on the road, there is danger because at any moment an accident may take place and one will be killed. The record actually shows that so many people die in such accidents. Therefore, we actually think that this material world is a very happy place. This is our ignorance. Real knowledge is that this material world is full of danger. We may struggle for existence as far as our intelligence allows and may try to take care of ourselves. But unless the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna ultimately saves us from danger, our attempts will be useless. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says, Balasya neha sharanam pitaro narasimha nartasya chagadam udavanti majato no taptasya tat pratividhirya ahanjat seistas tavad vibhutanubhitam tvad upekshitam tvad upekshitanam. We may invent so many ways to be happy or to counteract the dangers of this material world, but unless our attempts are sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will never make us happy. Those who try to be happy without taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are mudas, rascals. Namam drushkitino mura prapadyante naradhama. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 15. Those who are the lowest of men refuse to take to Krishna consciousness because they think that they will be able to protect themselves without Krishna's care. This is their mistake. The decision of the king of the elephants, Gajendra, was correct. In such a dangerous position, he sought shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We'll also read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, verse 2. Chapter 2, verse 36. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shotavya kirtivyascha smratavyo bhagavan nrinam. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. I'm not going to read the purport for lack of time, so I'll just go after that. So, also in the first 3 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, verse 1 to verse 3, the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam is expertly explained. In the first 2 verses, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In the 3rd verse, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. We are praying at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev that may we always be attracted to the pages of these transcendental scriptures and may we acquire the taste to relish this nectar. The WECAN Namahata devotees have developed very good interpersonal relationships, and we are trying to help each other in this path of devotional service with like-minded association, focusing on our ultimate spiritual progress and aim. His Grace Amrish Prabhu is a guiding force teaching us to see Krishna's hand in everything and keep our dedication to Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu is supporting us in the preaching programs. I'm very pleased that he is very convinced that Krishna consciousness has answers to all the questions of this world as he shares conversations with friends and people he meets on various platforms of his life. We do remember the most fortunate times of our lives when we used to visit Rajkot for Srila Gurudev's Vyasapuja in the early years, and we felt we were visiting our native place. The Matajis are always willing to do services and resilient in adapting to the changing times. They are ever enthusiastic and dedicated to the weekend programs. The children also participate and very much a part of the preaching activities. I am eternally grateful to Krishna for coming under the shelter of dear Srila Gurudev. Everyone in the weekend programs feels the shelter of Srila Gurudev. I am eternally indebted to Srila Gurudev for this shelter. His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Vyasapuja Mahamahotsav ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Your most fallen daughter, Purna Pragya Devi Dasi.
Jai, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev's Vyasapuja Mahotsav ki jai.
I just wanted to say, this is not in the offering, but just wanted to say to all the loving devotees of the weekend program that at least I am not worthy of any credit that they have tried to give or given. Just humbly pray at everyone's I pray to everyone that we can continue to serve everyone in Krishna consciousness and go further in our preaching. But yeah, I absolutely do not deserve any credits for that. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Purnapagya Devidasi, for your nice realization. Now we come to the last point. My realization, my offerings, with whatever it is worth. Hare Krishna. In fact, this year I didn't want to write the offering, to be honest, because every day I could feel Maharaj's presence. And but I wrote for my personal purification. It is only for my personal purification that one writes offering. And that is exclusively to glorify Maharaj. All these years I also write about the programs, about devotees, everything. But I wanted to change this year, So I've written that as my homage. And I'll add some things as we go. Hare Krishna. So with all your permission, I'll read very quickly. I know we are way away from time, so I'll be very fast. Om Agnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pasarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Gurudev's Transcendental 101 Centennial Vyasapuja 2020 Mahotsav Ki Jai. So today we celebrate Srila Gurudev's Transcendental Vyasapuja when the whole world is facing an unprecedented precarious condition of world pandemic. Human beings have never experienced such worldwide lockdowns as we have experienced in the year 2020. Srila Gurudev would repeat the transcendental words of Srila Prabhupada while describing living conditions in this material world that is not worth living for a gentleman. Maharaj would lovingly teach us to ignore all material conditions while performing our devotional service. I remember in 2008-2009, when the world was going through financial crisis, Maharaj asked me only once, how are things in New Zealand? And that was also a passing question. This is how Maharaj taught me how not to be unduly bothered about changing material conditions around us. As Maharaj would say, Bhakti is transcendental. No one can artificially control Bhakti or limit Bhakti. Before departing from this mortal world, Maharaj had instructed all of us that if you follow my instructions nicely, then you will experience my presence more intensely than before. Maharaj are certainly keeping this most important promise given to all of us. In fact, Maharaj has become more lenient towards us while showing this special favor. This year, Maharaj has shown special mercy on us by giving us very unique realizations in our bhakti life and our preaching endeavors. It is impossible for me to directly understand Lord Krishna, to know him, to understand his activities, his philosophy, and that is why I try to take shelter of the purport of the verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, chapter number 4, verse 63, which gives a small hope, an outside chance for a fool like myself to serve and please Shri Radha Krishna. The verse is Shri Bhagavan Vacha Aham Bhakta Paradhino Hyasvatantra Iva Dvija Sadhubhir Grasta Hrudayo Bhaktair Bhakta Jana Priyaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the cores of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. This promise of Lord Krishna, what to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me, is my only hope. And this I have personally experienced. In this verse, our dear Lord states his position and the position of his pure devotees. The Lord says, Bhakta Paradhinaha. That means I am dependent on the will of my devotees. Asvatantraha. I am not independent. Then he says, Bhakta Jana Priyaha. I am dependent not only on my devotee, but also on my devotee's devotee. That means the devotee's devotee are extremely dear to me. Here the Lord also states the qualification of someone who can capture his attention. He prays, he is captured by sadhu bhihi, by pure devotees who are completely free from all material desires, like Srila Gurudev. Grasta hrudayaha is another word. My heart is controlled by them. Lord Krishna similarly states in the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 19, verse 20 to 24, where he says, Mad Bhakta Pujabhyadhika. Where he says, Mat means my, Bhakta means of the devotees, Puja means worship, Abhyadhika, preeminent. Srila Prabhupada states in his transcendental purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada writes, the words Mad Bhakta Pujabhyadhika are significant in this verse. Abhyadhika indicates superior quality. The Lord is extremely satisfied with those who offer worship to his pure devotees, and he rewards them accordingly. Because of the Lord's generous appraisal of his pure devotees, worship of the pure devotees is described as superior to worship of the Lord himself. This shows the magnanimous nature of the Lord, of Lord Krishna, and also states the exalted position of Srila Gurudev. Every day I count my blessings of having been given shelter of such a great sadhu bhihi. Receiving this shelter is not by my qualification, but only by the extreme causeless mercy of Sri Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Gurudev. As stated in Padma Puran and referred in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 11.31, this is the description and discussion between Lord Shiva, what Lord Shiva is instructing and informing Mother Parvati, his good wife. Says, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnor aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Lord Shiva told the goddess Durga, my dear Devi, although Vedas recommend worship of demigods, the worship of Lord Vishnu is topmost. However, above the worship of Lord Vishnu is the rendering of service to the Vaishnavas, which are related to Lord Vishnu. Srila Gurudev knows the precarious condition I have put myself in this material world. And that is why Maharaj are very merciful to me and my family, tolerating all sorts of shortcomings, all our shortcomings and incompetences in executing our devotional service towards Srila Gurudev. And as a pure representative of Lord Krishna, Maharaj gives us unconditional shelter. As Lord Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, in his Bhagavad Gita, Srila Gurudev, as a true representative of the Lord, practically demonstrates this promise of the Lord to us. Chapter 9, the Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge, verse number 22. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. And not only this, every devotee in our outreach programs feels sheltered by Srila Gurudev. And that is the true test of our outreach activities. We would like to thank Guru Maharaj, all the wonderful devotees of His Grace Avinash Krishna Prabhu, Saraswati Mataji, Shital Prabhu, his good wife Namrata Mataji, Sanjeev Prabhu, his good wife Dolly Mataji, Sopan Prabhu, Anish Prabhu and his good wife Archana Mataji, and with also in a short time Madhavendra Puri Prabhu and his family. They also have become very close to us. And all the devotees who have helped us for preaching us in our Hare Krishna weekend programs. Also by the extreme callous mercy of Srila Gurudev, His Grace Avinash Krishna Prabhu and his good wife Saraswati Mataji have given the use of one of their house to Srila Gurudev's preaching trust in Auckland, New Zealand. Please bless us, Srila Gurudev, so we can utilize this wonderful facility provided by these wonderful devotees in advancing our various outreach endeavors under the exclusive direction of Srila Gurudev. On this very auspicious day, I pray the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra, Shri Nrsingadev, Shri Rukmini Dwarkadhish, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shri Sitaram Lakshman and Hanuman, and Shri Radha Neela Madhav to please bless me and my family so that we can intensify our bhakti to Srila Gurudev with our every breath and make our human life perfect. You are unqualified but loyal servant, Ambarish Das, Auckland, New Zealand. Hare Krishna, WECAN. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. With this, my offering ends. Anyone like to say anything before we finish our discussion? Please feel free. Otherwise, we'll do our Maharaj prayers. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, I would like to say something quickly about Mataji's realization. Mataji very humbly said a lot of words for us, but I remember I'm being in your program is only because of her prasadam. When I used to go home and she will come from work at 5 o'clock, I don't know what she will do, and she will feed me, and I will come with all my things. So thank you, Mother, for feeding me so nicely that I could hang in there.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I really think that all the devotees in the weekend program, they are actually a source of inspiration for me. And just looking at everyone's enthusiasm, that helps me to keep my enthusiasm. So thank you for giving the opportunity as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I want to say something. Mataji and Prabhuji both, they have engaged us very nicely in service of Srila Gurudev, although we are not qualified at all. And Mataji, she has been guiding force all the time for all the Matajis. I personally feel her skills, whatever skills she has, she is very nicely utilizing them for training all of us. So thank you, a big thank you to you and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry. Yes, Prabhuji, you want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I just, my phone wasn't working. I just wanted to thank all the Matajis actually, because there is nothing really to train. They are so, they're just so great, and it's so easy to associate with. And the best thing is that they all have the same focus of keeping Krishna in the center. And I remember Srila Gurudev had instructed me when we were given initiation at that time, and after that, in Matajis there should be no politics. And even if I would try to achieve that, it is not possible to achieve by myself. So it's all the credit goes to all the Matajis as well, because they also have the same quality, and they are very transparent in their dealings. and very dedicated. So I'm very fortunate actually. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
All the Mataji, Sarvasiddhi Mataji, Namrata Mataji, Dolly Mataji, and Archana Mataji, all of them, and also the children. They are just the little children. The Matajis also, Navina, Subhadra, and Madhav, and Arnav, and also Yema Radhika now, I guess. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, Madhav.
Yeah, I just wanted to say really very important one for my life. See, actually, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami's disciple, how they are important here. So actually, they are not just, they are not just in the Auckland where I'm leaving them. Like, they're not just, just saying the words and, just, leaving that aside other things. But if you look, there's Ambarish is Grace Ambarish. You look there, even though we are fortunately we met one in old temple, but how serious he was, Ambarish Prabhuji, and he took all his whatever effort and the energies in till today, you can say that, like how the Maharaj is preaching continuously, even though at the old age, that still he was very determined. Like Ambarish Prabhu he started this WECAN program, and following is sincerely and very seriously, Maharaj's instruction, and he put into on the field. It's not just but in those, actually people are working like a husband and wife. It's very hard, in the sense to get some time to spread Krishna conscious, especially Grihastha. But even though, in spite of that, he and his family and put together and dedicated, in the life of Krishna's and Maharaj instruction. And you see how he made many inspiring devotees and wonderful devotees. It is glorious, really. It is very, I'm really, all my credits, the credits goes to is Grace Ambarish Prabhuji, and thanks for that. And also I am opportunity, I have an opportunity to associate in this program as much as possible. And not only that, in the future also, I whether here or there, at least I try to try my best to have a nice association with the elevated devotees, like the here. And really grateful, Ambarish Prabhuji, they were given a opportunity to for me to join the classes as much as possible and share my thought as well, and really is great. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. The benefit is ours, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare
I just wanted to actually share this because, and thank you very much for all the actually nice offerings, and also Ambarish Prabhu's offering as well, very inspiring. And as you mentioned the point, actually, the Krishna says that actually the devotees of the devotees are very dear to him. And as you say, Guru Maharaj says that one who follows his instruction, they will feel his mercy in their life. And that is actually practical realization for all of us, for myself as well. And so actually, since we're following this program for 10 years and very much attached to Maharaj, even it's quite miraculous, that person that we never met, but just through his instruction, we are very attached to Maharaj. And we've been actually trying to actually, I should approach say that we need a living guru. And we always think about actually getting initiated and we look for guru. But sometimes we just forget about it actually, because all the instruction, all our spiritual needs actually been satisfied by Guru Maharaj, his instructions. And because of his grace, Ambarish Prabhu and his teaching, we are progressing very nicely. And we I really want to get initiated, but actually in the deep in my heart, I always feel that actually I don't want to leave this line, this disciplic line. I always want to attach to this, and we always pray Guru Maharaj that somehow we stay connected to this program all the time, even if we get initiated by other Guru. And I think Srila Gurudev will always, I'm pretty sure that Srila Gurudev will always give his mercy, and we all remain together in this preaching program. And one more thing I observed, like very actual beginning from when I joined His Grace Amrish Prabhu's program, Namata program, that I never seen any group. Means I have actually lived in India so many years, and even I spent a lot of time in New Zealand as well before I actually started following this program. That I always found this group very inspirational, because I never seen any politics. The way the people behave with each other, and even they're all progressing nicely, but there is no envy within each other. There's no competition, and everyone is actually helping each other to actually progress very nicely. And that's actually made my faith very strong. In Hare Krishna, we can actually group that actually there is something that is very truthful in this group, and that's actually kept me glued to this program, because I always actually many times thought about actually moving to Australia, but one thing hold me in New Zealand is this actually Hare Krishna WECAN group, and that's why actually we stuck here and we don't want to move, because and I'm really thankful to actually His Grace Amrish Prabhu and family and all the devotees and Guru Maharaj for giving this shelter, and yeah, we'll be eternally grateful to him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, very nice. So today now we conclude our discussion, and we have now Maharaj. Maharaj, please hear us. Who's going to sing? Whose turn is it? It is little Subhadra's turn. She's all ready. Very nice. Come,
Yes,
come.
yes, sir.
Let's start.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj,
Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some
real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. And today for you we will sing. If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean, we can do anything. If our room is dirty, then so are we.
Then so are we.
We are dirty. We are not happy. Wasting time.
Wasting time
Is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Means a wasted mind. So best is your time.
So best use your time
When you're in your prime.
and
Your whole life will be sublime. If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
there is nothing wrong. But if your health is gone, that's a different song. If
but
your
if a
character dies, then the world will cry. Only saintly behavior. That's humanity thrive. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question. And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you. So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how Let's learn how we can live if so Krishna wants to depart. If some things do tomorrow, finish it today. Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
Do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy.
Your friends might be lazy.
Or doing bad things.
Or doing bad things.
But you think again.
But you think again.
Don't follow them.
Don't follow them.
You will win the end.
You will win the end.
Whatever work we're given.
Whatever work we're given.
We do our very best.
We do our very best.
We only live with Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live. If you learn to look this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. If you learn to live this way, you will see Krishna every day.
When the time is up, you'll take the step of love.
And when your time is up, we will take a cup of wine. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. He's the only in this world who can ever become sane.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. It's the only way in this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question.
Now please ask this greatest question.
And find this greatest clue.
And find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna.
You can only remember Krishna. If Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Tirava Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chanda Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Sai Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Sai Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurani Kushaine Nirvishesh Shunyvari Prasadi Sarine. Hare Krishna, it's very late. It's very late. We must finish the discussion. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.